Welcome to the Stephen Mansfield Podcast.
Well, welcome to the Stephen Mansfield Podcast. So glad you've joined me. I love having you with me as we ponder important things happening in our generation. And what I want to talk about in this episode of the Stephen Mansfield Podcast is one of the most important things happening in our world today, certainly in the United States. And that is, as I'm sure you've been hearing a great deal in the news, the subject of impeachment. Now, Donald Trump, who was already being targeted for impeachment by the Democrats in Congress, did something that he should not have done. Let's just be clear about it. He should not have done. He tried to get a foreign government involved in the investigation of a political rival. This is illegal under American law. It's unwise and in some ways unpatriotic. And he should not have done it. That transcript was leaked. There was a whistleblower. And now many of you probably listening to this have actually read the transcript of the president's conversation with the president of Ukraine. You know what he said. You know what he offered. You know some sense that there may have been a quid pro quo, an exchange, a deal, something given for something else. And so here we are at the beginning of a long discussion about impeachment. Now, you're going to want to know what I think about the possibility of impeachment. Let me tell you that I do not believe that Donald Trump knew what he was doing. I don't think he intended anything illegal. He's not the wisest or the best educated when it comes to American law or to governmental policies and restrictions. So I don't think he intended to do anything illegal, but he did something illegal. Have other presidents done worse? Yes. But the fact is that Donald Trump has so declared war on the left and has so foolishly, I believe, left himself open to these charges that it is likely he is going to be impeached by the House. Now, you have to understand what this means. I didn't say he's going to be thrown out of office. It's likely he's going to be impeached by the House. There are 435 members in the House of Representatives, and as many as 223 House Democrats and one independent, that means somebody who's neither Republican or Democrat, have already come out in favor of impeachment. That means if the vote was held tomorrow in the House, if they were willing to go to a vote, that Donald Trump would be impeached by the House. So I'm going to talk through a little bit what's going to happen, what this process is, but I want to tell you straight up, the president has done something that is illegal under American law. Obviously, his manner has enraged the left, and they've been looking for a reason to impeach him. He now has done something, and he released the transcript, which I think was honorable, but the transcript only confirms that he did something inappropriate, illegal, and, in the minds of many Americans, this is according to polls, this is not just me making it up, actually unpatriotic. So Donald Trump, who wants to make America great again, has actually done something that is perceived by most Americans to be unpatriotic and to be treason. The word is actually often used now. So I can tell you only that if it was held, an impeachment hearing, if the impeachment vote, let's say, was held tomorrow, and there's a long process to undergo before then, but if impeachment vote was held tomorrow, he would be impeached by the House. Now, as you know, Republicans control the Senate. But Mitch McConnell has said he will go forward with a hearing. If the House impeaches, he will go forward with a hearing in the Senate. It was not something he had to do, but he's already said he would do it. It's not likely that the Senate will impeach. It's largely Republicans. And so we'll have the same situation we had with President Clinton, who was impeached by the House but not by the Senate. And he'll remain in office, but he'll have this stain over him for the rest of his life. So like President Johnson, the vice president of Lincoln, who became president and then was impeached, like Nixon was never impeached, but others, Bill Clinton has been, Donald Trump may suffer the same fate. So what has to happen now? Nancy Pelosi on the 24th has already announced formally an impeachment inquiry. This is no longer a matter of debate. This is actually going to happen. There's going to be an impeachment inquiry. So 6 House committees will investigate and report their findings to the Judiciary Committee. That's how it works. 6 committees who have some oversight of various aspects of government that Donald Trump has traipsed into with his conduct. They are going to investigate, and they're going to report to the Judiciary Committee. If no wrongdoing is found, the process ends right there. But they're probably going to find wrongdoing because they're looking for it. And so if that happens, then the Judiciary Committee will draw up articles of impeachment. Okay? That then will go to a House vote. The articles are debated on the floor, and then the House votes. Again, if the House votes no, the process ends right there. There are lots of times here during which the process can simply come to an end. If a simple majority votes yes on any of the articles of impeachment, the president has at this point been impeached. That's an important point. There are going to be a number of articles of impeachment, and if the House votes yes on any one of those articles, then the president has been impeached. That's very, very important. Then you go to the Senate trial that I've already mentioned. The Senate then holds a trial debating each article of impeachment to determine if the president should be removed from office. You see, again, just because the House impeaches does not mean the president's removed. That doesn't happen until the Senate gets involved. And if 2/3, now that's a hard thing to achieve, 2/3 of the Senate vote to convict, then the president is removed from office. So I want to make that really clear. 2/3 of the senators would have to vote for impeachment for the president to be removed from office. Again, if less than 2/3 vote for impeachment, then again the process ends there. So you have an extensive process in the House. You have a report to the Judiciary Committee. You have articles of impeachment written up. You have a vote. Any one of those articles is passed or approved or the House votes yes, then the president is considered impeached by the House. Then it goes to the Senate. The issue there is impeachment, yes, but mainly removal. It's a two-step process under American law. It's a little bit odd. You can say that President Clinton was impeached, but he was never removed from office. So he absolutely was impeached by the House, but he was never removed from office and went on to serve out all of his second term. So that's where we are right now. What's likely to happen, if you're asking for Mansfield's read on what's going to happen, we're going to have a nation tortured by an impeachment debate. We're going to have both sides in rage. We're going to have the country up in flames. The House is likely to impeach unless there's a real good report that comes out of these investigations, these different committee investigations, and somehow the president's exonerated, or somehow these committees conclude there's no evidence, or people on the left might even begin to realize that this is too politically dangerous for them. There are a bunch of things that can come into play. I'm just saying at this point, all things being equal, a plain text reading of the situation is that the House has the numbers to impeach Donald Trump. And he's not likely to help himself very much. He's not going to get up and say, I was unwise. I shouldn't have done that. Let me stay and finish. He's not going to do anything like that. He's going to continue to fight, continue to throw flame. And so these different committees will have to pursue the truth on their own. Hopefully they'll come to the truth, whatever it is. There'll be a House vote, but the Senate will have to vote to remove. And since it requires 2/3 of the Senate, which is a lot, that's a lot of people to vote in one direction, it is not likely at all he's ever going to be removed from office. But he will be the third American president to actually be impeached. Remember now, Richard Nixon was not impeached. He just resigned. So unfortunately, we are heading into a very troubled period in American history. We are back in the days of Watergate. We are back in the days of the Monica Lewinsky scandal with Bill Clinton. It's torturous. It's at a bad time. We have a lot of big international situations to deal with. Congress really ought to be about other things. But the fact is that that President Trump has been unwise in his conduct. He has skirted right up to the edge of unethical, if not actually crossed over. He has given reason for this. And of course, He spent a lot of years ticking off the left. Now, you're looking for what I think ought to happen. If I had my preference, he would apologize. He would ask the Ukraine not to act in any kind of investigation of Joe Biden. Hopefully, the rest of Congress would back off in their investigations, and we could go forward as a nation. We got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger challenges ahead. We've got serious problems internationally, and we are probably heading as a country into a recession. All of those things are factors. So the last thing I want, loving my country as I do, is an impeachment hearing that lasts for a long time. We're in it now, though. It's been announced. The Speaker of the House has already announced there is an impeachment inquiry happening. So the likelihood is that late in 2019, early in 2020, Donald Trump is going to be impeached by the House as President of the United States. The other likelihood is that he will not be removed from office, but we will have a divided government, we will have a contentious country, and we will let some of these problems that we are facing get on top of us. Let's pray for better, hope for better, and for those of you who are listening to this, who are in Congress and the Senate, love you, so glad you're here listening, but let's do what we can to do what's right for the country and not just party or individual agendas.
Stephen Mansfield is a New York Times best-selling author, a popular speaker, and a frequent faith and culture commentator on Fox and CNN. His groundbreaking books on faith and society include The Faith of George W. Bush, The Search for God in Guinness, Mansfield's Book of Manly Men, and Lincoln's Battle with God. Learn more at stephenmansfield.tv.